Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's daily brief recap. Everyone, um, it is a funny day. It's technically after the holiday, but the Americans they've got their funny midsummer holiday a little bit different than the rest of the world. So we are kind of on pause, waiting for the Americans to get their act together. Their market is closed here today. So as a result, especially here in Canada, most of our trade is done with the U.S. So if they're closed, basically our market's closed. So pretty quiet day. Crypto's coming off a little bit, but it's interesting to see like crypto proxies in Canada are actually firm. So don't know whether I'd really believe in the overt weakness you're seeing in the actual crypto market itself. Almost feels like price kind of jumped up there recently, and they're just backing things up a little bit, cleaning up the book here. Well, they say well, the how's it go? Well, the cat's away, the mice will play. So the mice played through that holiday window there, and now they got to clean things up, make sure the car's back in the garage with a full tank of gas and not a scratch on it for tomorrow morning's sort of adult return. So not really that active of a report today. Like I said, if you see these little balls, it means that the market's closed, and most of my markets that I'm trading are closed here today. So not really doing anything too much stock markety land. And as I said, some of the stock market, like there are ETFs that trade in Canada for the corn. And where are they? They're actually slightly, here. This guy's up just a bit on the day. Also, this guy's up a little bit on the day. Actually, I stepped in and bought a little bit of that recently here, so we'll see how that goes. Did see a couple of the Canadian crypto stocks are slightly down on the day, but nothing really to get too excited about there. That is interesting. I noticed this guy. I sold this stock. I was so proud of myself. I actually sold right up here, and I got a funny message from the company. Usually, these kind of junior mining companies, they don't do anything until they're getting ready to ramp the story, and then all of a sudden they're sort of come to life. I thought it was interesting. These guys, I don't understand them. They sent me a message. Last time I sent them a message was back in January 11th, and now they're responding to me. So I don't know, maybe they're waking up. But this was the trade I did in this stock, and it's just a killer trade. So that's the way you hit those foggy levels. And like I said, it's come right back down to 16 cents now, just absolutely collapsed. So I don't know. Do we go and buy the stock back now? Technically, I still like the Ethereum trade, and this thing theoretically was an Ethereum proxy. You can see Willie's nice and stupid now. RSI is even oversold. And actually, look at that. We're starting the smatterings of a divergence here in MACD. So maybe a little early to get excited about it, but it's just interesting to see how, the euphoria of the spring. This is a perfect anecdote of that. Sell into strength, pay yourself. I mean, this is hard work. You might as well make some money while you're doing it, and then just be patient and disciplined. And I find it fascinating that the guys at the company are now starting to wake up, and they'll probably send me messages. Hey, Brian, are you aware that we're doing this, this, and this? Hey, yeah, you should take a look at us. That kind of stuff. Typical stock market nonsense. Broader market, like I said, because it's a holiday, it's kind of wishy-washy market state. I did see things like Sjord on Mondays. He comes into the briefing and talks a little bit about what he's seeing over in Europe, and I thought it was interesting. He's super bullish of this stock, and he has been for quite a while. He's done very well on it. But fascinating. Look at that, right? And these guys make money when the stock market goes down. So what the hell does that say? Does that mean like the stock market's about to get a punch in the nose? I don't know. I thought that was really interesting. And then if you look at something like the DAX, like the German stock market and the Dutch market looks very similar. You kind of look look at these. Remember, last week I was barking about how I don't even know if that's it. Lakeshore ETF DAX. I'm not sure what the hell that is. There's DAX traded on the Nasdaq. Let's see if that shows it. I don't know whether that's it or not, but that flow traders, they make money shorting, and they love volatility, and that thing looks like it's pointing up. I got a funny feeling there's a big pop here. Does that mean that they know that maybe something's not going well here with the German stock market? And I know, like I in the briefing, we were looking at this at the Amsterdam stock market, and gee whiz, yeah, there it is there. I mean, look at that move. At some point, there's going to be like a Malthusian check. This can't just keep going up day after day after day like this. And this is the scary part. Because I remember back in 87, the same damn thing happened. The market just kept going up over, just kept going up, kept going up, kept going up, kept going up. And nobody talked about that. But what was really weird is that when the stock market crash came, and I'm not saying this is going to crash, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. But, they called it a stock market crash, but really, and the crash was something like 29% or something. So, gee whiz, yeah, look at that. So you can see there's 29%. But the worst part about this is if this does play out as a crash scenario, it's not. This is just technical analysis 101. The 50% rule, which we should expect at any given point in time, good old WD Gann, well, you can see it sitting right now. It's actually demanding at some point we need a 23% correction in price. So why are they doing this? These bastards. It's like, it's kind of like this. Why do they keep ratcheting it higher, ratcheting it higher? And then you got to have these like absolute meltdown corrections to just clean up the excess. So it's kind of interesting that Flow Traders is pointing higher. Looking at this chart, I can see why. At the very least, I tell you guys all the time, at the very least, you should expect 38.2 corrections at any given point in time, right? And that's kind of almost like probably what this is here. There you go. Let's go off of that high and that low. And sure enough, bang, 38.2s. And we go off of that high, bang, 38.2s. And now you do this one here. Right, it's high, right up in there, and bang, 38.2s. So, and you can see it. Literally, that means the European stock market could fall 18% here, just like that. Oh, goodness. And the worst part about this is that when the market does this break, anybody who's a half decent technician goes, well, it's pretty normal, healthy. But, the stupid fucking, these corporations own all these media outlets. The corporations, they want you to panic, and so they are going to fucking juice you hard. These news anchors that you see on TV, they're nothing more than fucking puppets. It's pathetic what's happened to the journalism industry. I mean, it is pathetic how the journalism industry have all turned into fucking hookers. I mean, it's just that simple. They're all whores. So really, really sad how our whole society's just they've all just basically become hookers. So sad. Anyway, point of the matter here is, oh boy, this market's getting dangerous again. And it doesn't matter whether you look at that, this is the Dutch market and seeing that Flow Traders. But I mean, I suppose we can do the same logic for like the US stock market. Ironically enough, this old high is actually probably going to become the panic pivot low. And since we know 50% rules, that's what markets like to do. Then in a weird sort of way, we're kind of seeing already, basically, we're pretty damn close to some sort of pivot top here, right? So get ready. I've talked about this. This coming fall, oh boy, this could be very, very troublesome. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I've got a whole bunch of funny little, bearish proxies that I just sort of accumulate This one I've been accumulating. This one I've been accumulating. They all look like shit right now, of course. Don't buy the options on these things because they'll just expire worthless. This one I've been accumulating. So, if and when the market does break, obviously this stuff will all come ratcheting back. You want to play the options? Okay, but just understand I've already had a few series. Remember last, I think March, we had some put options. And if you can't handle options expiring, don't go and buy these ETF, the bear ETF proxies. This is a highly manipulated game. I don't mind actually buying the ETFs themselves, but I'm not the biggest fan of actually buying the options on them. Anyway, as you can see, that's sort of the exact opposite of all those stock markets moving up. It's a holiday here today, so we really haven't been talking too much. In fact, actually, we had kind of a short session with the good people here today. So, our professional futures traders will be back first thing tomorrow morning. They're closed on the day here today, so we didn't do any report out of that. You can see this crazy oil market's stronger than hell, but that in itself is another warning sign. That how strong this oil market is. That is in itself, it's already telling you that there are problems because this is what's called a Dow theory sell signal. If you see the Dow industrials go to new highs, but the transports nowhere near new highs. Kevin was even blogging about that recently on the site. I think that's going to come in. That's going to be yet another sort of how does the market clean up that 18%, 19% correction just to go back to 50% rolls? Well, this is one way. Let's get that oil market going absolutely insane. And of course, the economics of this whole situation just completely derail themselves. No pun intended. So I don't know. I mean, I would imagine there's going to have to be some sort of shock. I am hearing that the Chinese are kind of ramping up this whole Taiwan thing. Maybe that's the shock. I'm also hearing too that the economic data is pretty strong. Maybe the Fed comes out and says they're going to normalize interest rates, and that's the shock. Maybe we have another, I'm hearing this Delta variant. Doesn't matter whether you took vaccines, you're still toast. I don't know. Maybe we get another variant or whatever that makes all of the vaccine, everything that we've done in the Western society to try and stabilize all this crap here through this. Maybe we make, a new variant comes out that's immune to all these vaccinations, and we're right back at square one. We have to shut everything down and go and borrow a ton of money to fake the system again and artificially create GDP by borrowing, mortgaging our future, blah blah blah, to keep the Fugazi going. And then maybe, one of these days the market says, you know what, enough's enough, the United States of America, we're not going to finance these deficits anymore. And the whole damn thing collapses. Of course, you Bitcoiners, that's your Willy Woo 300,000 Bitcoin price objective, right? Which I think is still on the table. As far as I'm concerned, it is. I don't know about any on-chain metrics or whatever. This is what I was sort of saying yesterday in the broiler chicken show. I do kind of like the idea of a seasonal turn here, and through the summer, we work our way back up. But I said yesterday in the video, if we go and M out below this channel here, all bets are off. I don't think that that's happening here today. That this might even be a trap where they go and M out here, but there is no M on the other side of this trend line. The market just ratchets right back up and takes out a back. Could there be one more dump down into Mountain Man levels? Because, he's always makes money, that guy. Before this sort of correction is done, and then we go into our summer silly season? Yep, that's definitely possible. And if anything, if we get a straight dump down into here, people are going to be like, oh, that's a sell, that's a sell, that's a sell. But then the market just ratchets right back and they get screwed. So trust me, when I say we should wait for a M on the other side of this trend line, I think that's in your best interest, people, before you get like uber insane bearish here. So as it stands right now, holiday session, I think everything here is just parked. And you can see that, overnight they kind of took a run, in this holiday thin liquid market. They took a run at crypto. And I think it was on the news of this ransomware and how, they're demanding getting paid in Bitcoins and stuff. So I think that's the news that's driving this. I could be mistaken, but I think that's the news that's driving this, which of course has nothing to do with these cryptocurrencies. It's all about that silly ransomware. And Mr. Putin, he would actually score a lot of points with the West if he actually just dropped the hammer on these guys and just and threw them all in jail and said, "Hey, we're going to send you off to trial for holding all of these companies, at ransom." Um, it's an interesting political football. I wonder if he's even conjectured that. I get the impression that they don't like the sanctions that are on Russia. So right now it's sort of like, fuck them, man. You want to bring them down? Go ahead, have fun. That's the impression that I'm getting. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. And long and short of it here, A, B, C, Ds, this stuff's all kind of pointing lower. You can see, that news sort of the ransomware came out about the middle of the night. Then it was sort of like, okay, the news came out, and then everything sort of inside barred, and then everything just sort of stopped here. So this is sort of the New York session. We're winding through that session. Nothing really to get too excited about here. It's just dead cat bounce. But it does look like there's probably more to go here to the downside before this is all done here. And what I've been sort of just telling people on the site is, we did like Adam and Olga, or Adam and Steve. Yeah, Adam and Steve over here. But that's a pretty far move, eh? I mean, heck, even just this trend continuation bot, it's had its move stopped to scratch level. So maybe they're just going to be politely told to get out of the market at scratch. That wouldn't surprise me. But like for them to actually do some serious technical damage on this Ethereum chart, believe it or not, actually, they have to take it all the way back down here and then break this trend line and put it in an M, like consolidate down here and then start failing. And then, okay, we got some serious problems here. But this is a huge open window. And I think that's what they're doing right now, is they're probably going to take a bit of these profits back here before the parents demand the car back in the garage with a full tank of gas and no scratches on the paint. Yeah, well, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to kind of see just in short term, this looks like it's going to be like and there's multiple, right? There's this one here. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so that one wants to go down into here. So that's going to bust out these botters. Man, that's fine. That happens. I don't know whether I'd want to be too aggressive on this one, because often when you get this sort of, this is like a second A, B, C, D in this formation. These ones almost never work. So it'd be interesting just to see in the public video tomorrow. We'll leave it off at this. Whether this level down here is traded to, my hunch is it won't. But we'll see. We'll leave it on there. See what happens. Yeah. So, well, actually, don't know. But we had a number of people, spitting up ideas. We're not in the spring idiocy, right? This one a little bit ahead of the rest of the pack, but so typically cliche, it's ridiculous. So insane move up, can't chase, right? You're just gonna get, honestly, if you get into the habit of chasing, I mean, it might work once or twice, and then you get caught, and this is what they call bag holding. You're screwed. If you buy up here, let's say right there, right, and you're like, oh, no, it's still going up. It's good. Oh, look at me. I'm so fucking smart. I told you, see? And then, oh, no, well, okay, well, it's okay. It's still good. Oh, look at me. I'm smart again. Oh, fuck me. So this guy here, that's the definition of bag holding. If you want to know what sort of bag holding in crypto looks like, it's that. And you want to try and avoid this like the plague. And the irony of it all is for this guy, anybody who bought up in all this mess, you can actually see that the pros, they're going to come in here and they're going to buy these W's down here. Market's going to go zipping up. And just as we get to the point where they're like, oh, phew, finally, I get to stop sleeping on the couch, right? And I can actually, make love to my wife again. She doesn't hate me. These guys, they're going to be getting out at Lambos, right? This is basically their profits right in here. And, they're going to be just, spewing out their coins to the public and probably, laughing, maybe even spewing the coins right in the people's faces. It's just the way capitalism goes. So I don't know. That's a pretty typical trader's trade as far as I'm concerned here, where they're loading up down in here right against reload zones, and they're going to be spitting them out into the public's face right up top here. That's pretty normal. And the guy up here, he's going to be like, oh, just thank God I can get the hell out of here, right? So, I mean, it's so cliche, it's ridiculous. Anyway, just having fun with a little bit of cartoon art there. I didn't say anything in particular, so you can't beef at me. I didn't swear or anything. I was just drawing some lines. In fact, I think I'll probably leave the presentation at that. Have yourselves a great 4th of July holiday. Sure hope stay safe and all that kind of fun stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe, ring Colleen's bell. Check out our Crypto Top 100 on Wednesday. It's a fun show that we do with a couple site members. And what else? Actually, Kavark, you're doing such a great job. If you do come on the site and do the 30-day trial and stuff, and you want to get to know some of our members, Kevin, actually, who helps me produce these videos, he comes on the Daily Brief on Wednesday and does a summary of our Tuesday stock picking group show. So man, we got a lot of stuff at TRI hopping. And what was so cool is, of course, Sjord now with his awesome engine that we built. This and it's so cool because people first thing in the morning are going, hey, can I get that crypto breadth indicator? And now they're actually saying I actually use this as one of my reasons to justify taking a trade. If I want to be long, this thing has to be pointing bullishly. And I was just like, oh, that's music to my ears, because that's exactly what this is all about, right? All right. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. PMA for the win. I hope you enjoy the holiday. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll be a little bit crisper with my presentation. But I hope you enjoyed the artwork. I pride myself on my artistic skills, so hopefully I've given you all a nice vision to think about with regard to that altcoin. All right, everybody, have yourselves a great day. PMA for the win. Kevin, if you could take us on out of here, I'd appreciate it. The only thing left for Brian to say at this point is a big bye for now.